Welcome to the NMAA podcast, the best basketball league in Orlando and the longest running Muslim sports league in America. Based out of sunny Orlando in Florida, featuring weekly game previews, player stats, heated rivalries, and guest stars. Now, your hosts, Waaris Zaheer, the Komish, Zaheer, the Don, Dev Lackman. Take it away, fellas.
What's going on, NMAA family? We are back with another edition of the podcast. I, your host, Waaris Zaheer, am joined by Mr. Sidd Juman, aka Mr. ACL, Dewan Blair. What's up, Sid? How you doing? Post-op, how are we feeling?
Post-op, not feeling great, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel, right? So happy to be here. NMAA has kept me mentally sane, so that's a big thing. I think everybody has seen that I've showed up pretty much the bulk of the weeks, hoping to show back up on our playoff Sunday. Everybody might see me walking around in a nice fat brace, but happy to be there. So
nice. We love to see it. Honestly, hoping. Wait, you're not gonna be able to play basketball this whole year?
No, I'm probably done for a good portion, and rightfully so. I probably should take my time and come back. My goal, if I had to, would be maybe December at the earliest, which if I sign up for December league, like how this played out, then I'll probably play sparingly in January. It will be to get my
hella out of shape.
Yeah, I'm hoping not to be super out of shape though. Like when you can shoot, it helps a little bit, right? In the sense that, like, hey, I may not have super cardio. I just need to make sure the ball goes in the basket.
Yep, for sure. But hey, listen, man, I might have to boycott next season because Sid's not playing. That's the only reason.
I was trying to get NMAA canceled. That FOMO is real. I tried real hard. Like, hey, Ozzy, take the season off, man. People need a break. Coaches need a break. Spend time with your family.
He's like, you need a break, boy. Go home.
There's that saying where distance makes the heart grow fonder, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you give them a break. All of a sudden, they come back in wintertime. They'll probably pay more.
Yeah, pay double. Shoot. Anyways, we have a good podcast for you guys today. We have the award nominees and the award winners. So the NMAA award show, and then we're going to pick the playoff games, do a little playoff preview here. So let's get it started. And background for the award show. We do, because I think there's some confusion out there, like how the awards are actually given. So what happens is there's a group team that comes up with the nominees. We do it a lot based on numbers, obviously, right? Because those are facts. You can't vote off narratives. Some people still do, but we make the nominees. Then it goes to a vote to a closed group of staff, coaches, yada yada yada. So I think it ends up being like a third of the league. Kind of. So it's a decent amount of votes. It's not like it's two guys going, all right, I think it's this guy. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we can kick it off. The first, and I'm going to end it with MVP, so we're going to skip this one. The first vote we have is Defensive Player of the Year. And now the nominees for Defensive Player of the Year: Ayinde Blackman from NARSSZ, Noodle Alfredo Williams from NARSSZ, and Hani Albana from Mali. Now, this is an interesting vote. Give a little shout out to Ayinde though here, Sid. I feel like, honestly, I feel like he was one of those guys and well deserved this nominee. Went much later than I think he's playing to the caliber.
Correct, and I think that's been the shocking part for Ayinde, right? In my opinion, probably one of the biggest steals in the draft, based on just size and what he's able to do alone. I know for sure we're the one seed for many reasons, but he's a very large reason. He's been dominant in the paint, and honestly, really proud of him and his growth this season. I know he'll probably be the first one to tell you I've yelled at him a bunch of times, but many of the times that I've yelled at him is hey, this is where I want you to be. This is how I want. And it's kind of like, I gave him the football analogy before, where it's like the teams that own the line of scrimmage typically win the game. If you can hold down the paint, just lock it down completely, I guarantee if you do nothing else, we'll at least be in it. And he's taken that to heart every single game. I mean, games where I'm missing my superstar player, games where I don't think I've had a game with a full team yet. He's dominated down low. And so I think, rightfully so, we're the third best defense, and much of that is because of him.
Right. Shout out to him. Shout out to Noodle, who famously in his YouTube clip says he guards the best players and he locks them up. And he says, I'm not even in shape. And then he slapped his belly. I don't know if you saw that video. It was actually hilarious. He's holding his gut. He goes, I'm locking him up. I'm not even in shape. I'm like, that's fantastic. But shout out to Noodle. Been guarding the best player on every other team pretty much every week. And then Hani. We know Hani, man. Hani's presence alone. I mean, Hani averages 1.5 blocks, which is shocking because he probably changes and contests 20 shots a game.
I've seen a number of people who are missing point blank layups just because Hani's
in the area.
He's just he's not even trying to go for the block. He's just twitching just to see what you do.
Yeah, he does a little.
But also, I mean, part of Defensive Player of the Year and one of the big shout outs, right, is rebound, right? Rebounding is a huge part of the award. And I think there are more games that Hani has had 20 plus rebounds than he's had less than 20 rebounds, right? I think his average right now is 16 rebounds a game.
16, yeah.
That just means that for one of the games he came late, he probably just didn't get a ton of rebounds that game, and it messed up his statistics.
Yeah.
But I think I've seen him with the high of 27 rebounds this season. That's a lot of rebounds.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But the winner of Defensive Player of the Season is Hani Albana from Malik. And honestly, well-deserving. 16 rebounds a game. 1.5 blocks, 2 steals a game too, which is kind of unsung, kind of Hani thing. Where in the past,
and for any candidates, who think, hey, why wasn't I on the list? Just for that, the awards and the nominees went to the first, second, and third seed defensively. Just to put that out there, right? Because it's very difficult to put everyone on the list. And out of all, Hani just stood out and made the most sense, so he's well deserving of the award.
I'm glad that I had a little bit of a change in that defensive statistics thing, because I remember I'm like, dude, my teams are always top 3 in points allowed, and we have no defenders besides me. I remember we had 4 guards one time, and then it was just me, and we played 2-3. I'm like, dude, I'm locking up the paint, and we're allowing 50 points a game, and you're like, Waaris only averaging 1.1 blocks. Gotta give D point to Manny. I'm like, all right. Shout out Manny though. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Next category we have is Offensive Player of the Year. And now we have a bunch of nominees for this. First, we have Ish Muhammad, 26 points, 6.5 assists. That last game kind of screwed up his statistics a lot. Yeah. Sharif Omola, 25 points, 6 assists. James Nicholson, 23 points, 5.2 assists. Alex Ford, 23 points, 4 assists. Alex Ford scored the most total points on the season, by the way, which means he was the highest scoring guy that showed up for all the games. Akbar Yassin with 21 points, 5 assists. D'Angelo with 24 points, 5 assists. So, with all those guys being said, the winner of Offensive Player of the Year, no doubt about this one, Ish Muhammad for NARSSZ. Honestly, he says 26 points, 6 assists. If he sits that game out, it's 32-9.
Yeah, easily as well. I think for everyone to put it into perspective, he got hurt the first game, the last game, and he only scored 4 points because he got hurt in the first quarter. With 4 points averaging to all his stats, he was still the leading offensive player in the league.
Oh yeah, points per game.
Yeah, points per game to just speak to the magnitude of a season that he has had.
And then he was behind Alex by how many points total? Like 20 points?
20 points total, and he's missed
13 quarters of basketball.
He missed 13 quarters of basketball.
Yeah. So, well deserved to Ish Muhammad. Definitely Offensive Player of the Year. The next, we have Most Improved. Most Improved have 4 nominees. First being Zaid Mujib from their team name changed. Jund, Raptors, now Jund. Honestly, a big uptick in scoring, and honestly, how effective he's looked. Because I feel like on that, technically he went from 8 points a game to 11 points a game. But on that Malik team, he was definitely not making as big of an impact, and not commanding as much defensive, just bandwidth of making people guard him. This season, there was a game where Darius got hurt against us, and we were up by 6. Or he didn't get hurt; he got ejected against us. And Zayd hit like 4 threes in the last 6 minutes. It was crazy. So shout out to Zayd. The other player we have is Darius Venegas, who technically was pro league to this is like a kind of pro. 9 points a game to 15 points a game. Tristan Bremer from MIB, 12 points to 15 points a game. Omar Othman from 8 to 11 points a game. And the winner in a very, very close vote, Zaid Mujib from Jund. Shout out Zaid. Definitely well deserving to Zaid. Zaid has been a legit threat on that team.
Legit threat. I've watched him grow with more and more confidence each season, right? I think this is his 3rd season, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Should be his
Might
3rd.
be his 2nd.
Didn't he play the first season? No, he didn't. He was on a different team last season. But both times, you've kind of just seen his growth as a player, his confidence in shooting. And I think last game kind of showed it as well, right? Where Jund was playing Malik, and in my opinion, based on video, they were struggling to score. And Zayd was red hot, and Ozzy called it out on the video. I think he had 5 or 6 threes that game.
Yeah.
That's big for your player to come in and just bury them, and he shot them with confidence. So I think very well deserving award for him.
And if you look at the rebrand, right, the Raptors becoming Jund, since they've become Jund and become this team that's now they had a chance to get the 1 seed last week. It's because Zayd has honestly been that 3rd guy, sometimes 2nd guy, when Darius is not scoring up to par. Sharif has kind of been at 24 to 25, and that's what Sharif's going to give you that every time. But Zayd's chipped in with a couple 15, 18 type games to make Jund more of a threat on offense. So we'll see. We'll see where we'll go. But that vote, every single player got a vote. Every single player got at least a couple of votes, actually, in that. He won by 2 votes.
Yeah, and I think every player nominated, very well deserving, right? And any of them, in my opinion, could have won the award.
Right. Darius and Tristan were tied. They both lost by 2 votes total, which is crazy. Anyways, next we have Clutch Player of the Year, aka Hit a Game Winner on MIB Award. Big time shots in the 4th quarter, including any game winners. So, Sharif hit a game winner against MIB. Tim McGuire hit a game winner against MIB. James Nicholson had a game winner against NARSSZ and MIB. So, the winner of the Clutch Player of the Year award by a resounding amount, James Nicholson L. I think this one was almost a guarantee. When we paid the nominees, I know Sid, me and you were a part of the team that kind of put those together. And Clutch Player of the Year, I said, oh, James is going to win this. He
1,000%.
was legit clutch.
Yeah, I think even in the games where he didn't win per se, right? I think they have 2 losses. Like versus me, for example, I would want to say, or even if we look at his whole season, I want to say at least 10 of his points come with the last 2 minutes of the 4th quarter.
Right.
And he's just he's burying threes. Just every single type of three that you could think of, he's just hitting them.
Bro, that shot against you guys was ridiculous. I went back, so I was doing commentary, and even when he shot it, I was like, dude, he was far, right? I'm like, and he came off the screen and he was not open.
No.
He came off the screen, there was 3 hands up. And I'm like, dude, he is NBA like logo 30-footer range, and he splacked it. I was like, oh my God. I lost my mind when he hit that shot. But that wasn't even the game winner.
It wasn't. And when he did shoot it, I was like, I hope we don't lose the game because of something like this. Like, I need this game. Come on, push through.
Right.
No, and it's not just that game, right? I've watched him in all of his games because a lot of the Commissar games come down to the wire, and he's the one hitting all of them.
Right.
And so,
he gets the ball, and bro, it's scary hours. I remember when against us this last week, when he got that ball at the top of the key, I said, this is just going. It's guaranteed. The second look that he got, I was like, I looked at the ball, I'm like, yep, that's going in.
It's that $2 for $1 move, right? You can't miss back to back if you're a good shooter, and he didn't.
No, never.
So you get those opportunities, but definitely by far he's been clutch all season. Just hasn't been a game. It's been all season for him.
100%. All right, next award we have 6th Man of the Year. The 6th Man of the Year nominees are Tron Hardman, 8.8 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. That's not right. 0.9 assists. I'm so sorry. 1 assist. I was like, yo, Tron out here diving, mom. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Okay, shout out Tron. Manny, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Obeda with 4 points, 3. Shout out Obeda. Shout out Beta. Ozzy has a chance. Ozzy also has a say in the nominees, by the way. If you haven't caught on. Zaid Mujib, the last 6th Man of the Year nominee, and the winner by 2 votes. Second award, Zaid Mujib. And Zaid coming in and beating, and Manny came in second with 2 votes. By 2 votes. Zaid, well deserving. Honestly, we've already talked about it. Microwave off the bench. Lou Will type. Packy Lou Will. Shout out.
100%. He comes in and you're just like, oh, bench player coming in. We should be okay. And then you're like 3 threes deep and you're like, who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Yeah.
And that's kind of
where we're at. Somebody put a hand up. Yeah. 100%. No, shout out to him. He well deserved, honestly. He's been instrumental in John kind of being this contender again. Next, we have Teammate of the Year. So to get to be nominated for Teammate of the Year, positive influence on the bench and on the team, sacrificing your teammates and helping out and filling in where you can. So 5 nominees for this. All teams nominated some of their own guys, and some of the people were declined because I don't know. But the nominees: Skylar from MIB. This award could be named the Skylar Award. But Nick Tuhi from NARSSZ, Christian Solis from NARSSZ, Zohaib Khan from Goldenrod, and Monk Cade from the Commissars. It's been a teammate for them for like 2 weeks, bruh. What are we doing? Anyways,
teammate of it had to carry over. It had to be like a Debo / Amir award.
Yeah, 100%.
I love you so much. I sent you to another team to enjoy you.
Pause. Anyways, next, what we have here is a tie at the top, and the 2 winners are Skylar from MIB and Zohaib Khan from Goldenrod. And honestly, Skylar, honestly, he's NMAA teammate of the league.
He's what everyone should aspire to be like. I mean, honestly. I think you filled it in at the end, right? It's also chipping in, not just celebrating and being a great teammate. I mean, I don't think anybody would fight Skylar on the fact that he shows up for every game to do the clock for us. He helps as much as he possibly can. I mean, he gets things organized, right? He's well deserving of it. And I haven't been graced with his presence on my own team because people like Waaris always steal him in the draft. Yeah. So I can imagine that if you constantly are redrafting someone, they got to be an amazing player. And then shout out also, I think, to Zohaib. I did get to play with him. That was a little bit of a drama last season, but I can say for when I did have him, just super joyous to be around. Always positive.
Great teammate. Yeah.
Yep, great teammate, smiling. Someone that you want to have.
He's more on the court too, because what happens is he's not expecting. You can say even in this league, I think you can argue that Zohib's a star player, right?
Yeah.
Or he's a fringe star in this league. In semi-pro, he's a star, right? But when you have a star player that's diving on the floor, running back and he has like 4 chase down blocks in 3 seasons. It's crazy.
Yeah, nasty one on Tony. I wouldn't say chase down, but he met Tony at the rim.
Yeah, met Tony at the rim, blocked the hell out of him. And he goes in, and I remember they had him on James Nicholson. I'm like, bro, Zohib, shout out Zohib. He's 5'9" on a good day. James Nicholson is all of 6'4". And Zohib is not giving him fits. James hit some tough buckets, but he had to make those tough buckets. And James afterwards was like, bro, this guy's blah, blah. He's getting in my skin. I'm like, bro, he is legitimately 7 inches shorter than you. What do you want him to do? And he was like, nah, that's facts, actually. Yeah. I'm like, bro. So the fact that he wasn't like, who you want me to guard, James? What am I doing? He's like, all right. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll guard him. You know,
he takes it on and that's a coach's dream, right? It takes whatever role you want to give him.
Shout out my guy. Anyway, next we have Coach, and we'll announce Coach before we announce GM. Coach, top 3 seeds. Sid, yourself, you are nominated. Congratulations. Right. Ended up being the 1 seed. Next we have Ozzy from NARSSZ. Obviously, I think that last week had a lot to say on what would happen to this. And Amir, who is the 2nd seed. So, players, top 3 seeds, you coach your team, you knew what you were doing. And the winner, in a landslide, Siddiq Juman.
Let's go.
Sid, coach of, this is your 2nd one, isn't it?
This is my 2nd one. Thanks.
Congrats, man. Well deserving. I'm going to give you the floor. Coach of the year.
Honestly, it's awesome to definitely win the award, but I definitely don't get it without my team, right? You can coach as much as you want, but if you don't have the players that would buy into your system, you don't get there, right? And I think one of the things I'm most proud of with my team this season is they've been challenged because we've had so many different lineups. And I'll ask Christian, for example, to do like a more elevated role. I'll ask Allende. I'll ask Tron, for example. I mean, Tron has been great. So it's not just, getting replacements, just drawing up plays or in the moment. It's making sure that, hey, I put the players in the right spots to play their best. And I think, thankfully, this might be my only season that I have not had a player complaint on my team and like, hey, I want more minutes, or hey, I want more shots, things like that. I think everyone has been pretty happy. And so I think for me, that makes me happy, right? As a coach, it means I'm doing something right. And we're the 1 seed and entering playoffs. And that's good. That's good for me, for recognition, but also good for my team to know, hey, we can get there.
Yeah, 100%. Congratulations. Honestly, well deserving. That's who I voted for. So I'm glad to see that you won, man. But next we have best GM. So, to get this, drafted the best roster, steals late in the draft, made a trade or two to make their team better. And the nominees for this were Sid, yourself, on there again, Amir on there, Ozzy, Ramsey. Actually, Ramsey went 4-1 after the trades that he made. So that's actually, we're looking at it. That winning percentage wise, that's the best record last 5 games, right? So,
yep.
Dev and Abdel. And the winner for best GM is Amir Zufari of the Commissars. And I think this is who I voted for. His first, we saw it after the draft. We were like, dude, what kind of team is this?
Team is stacked, right? Pro players definitely matter, right? And he has a whole lot of them. And on top of that, I think the trades that he made, especially the one for Monk, was a great trade in the sense that he picked up what his team needed, right? And so his team needed some interior defense and some rebounding, and he went out and got it. And I think, that's all part of being a great GM,
Right.
is finding the gaps on your team. And it was hard to find gaps on a team where it was that star-studded, right? I mean, you're talking about.
What I liked about what the Commissars did, what Amir did, was I think they were 3-1 when they made the first trade.
Yeah.
And then I think that they were 4-1 after they made the second trade. So it was like he knew, hey, he's not going to sit on his laurels. He knows the team could be even better, and made those moves. So honestly, shout out to Amir.
Yeah, and hats off. I think, both of their players have that he had traded for as well have bought into his system.
100%.
And their offense looks really smooth. So
yeah, they're a pretty good team, man. Next and last vote. Vote for most valuable player. So you factor in win stats, impact on games, impact on big games, and obviously their single game performances. And we had 2 nominees to not confuse anybody this season, because there were 2 teams that's tied for the best record.
Yep.
And that was NARSSZ with Ismail Muhammad, who was the scoring leader, assist leader, with essentially 5 quarters that he missed, that he technically played in those 2 games.
Yep.
Those he could have had ridiculous numbers. Anyway, and the other being James Nicholson L, who was at 23.5 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. And in the closest vote in semi-pro history, or in NMAA history, by 1 vote, the winner of most valuable player, Ismail Muhammad from NARSSZ. I think that the only really knock on him was he didn't play enough.
Correct. And I think if that's the only knock, you kind of know who the award kind of goes to, right? When you can say, hey, let's look at all the negatives Ish has this season, and it's that one, right? Well deserving of the award. I think I've had so many moments just watching him as a coach play that it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe he can do this. Like,
Yeah.
And there's been a number of games where I think like highlight just how amazing his season has had. For example, like you called it out, right? When we played Amani, he showed up in the second quarter. He flew in for our games. I was actually really happy. He flew in for our game to come in and just showed up a little bit late. He had a near triple-double and showed up late, right? And he had
Should have at halftime almost, right?
Yeah, he showed up 28 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, a near triple-double.
That's crazy.
Then there was another game where I'd say for the games that he did attend, for like I'll say 3 out of the 4 games, right, that he was fully there for, he's had 30 points close to halftime. Some of the games he probably could have had a 50-point game multiple times.
You let off the gas, low-key, yeah.
I've let off the gas and I've taken him out as a, hey, don't want you to get hurt. Hey, all you really need is about 30, 35 points a game. You don't need more than that. But there was a couple games where if he wanted 40 points, 45 points a game, he could have easily had it.
Shout out Ish. Shout out James too.
Yep.
Losing by 1 vote. I think we also had another, I think Arib and Tariq was decided by 1 vote as well. So crazy. Almost had co-MVP. Actually, we had an odd amount of voters, so it wouldn't have been a tie. But co-MVP would have been cool. Anyways, congratulations to Ish. Congratulations to all the winners. Very well deserving. Congratulations to Sidd. Sidd, best coach. Honestly, NARSSZ cleaning up on the awards, but as you and I both know, none of those trophies matter.
Nope. There's only one that matters.
There's only one that matters. And that starts this week. And let's get right into the playoff preview.
You're listening to the NMAA podcast.
Your favorite podcast is here.
All right, so we have the first round of the NMAA playoffs. We'll get right into it. And the first matchup, the 2 versus 7 seed, Commissars versus MIB. And MIB, our team, 7 seed, just lost to the Commissars on a huge choke job from the MIB coach who shall not be named at the current time. No, but it was a fun matchup this last week. Both of us had 6 guys, so I'm excited to see what the matchup's going to look like with a full team for both ends. That being said, MIB, but you can pick this game. I'm not going to pick it, right? Let me tell you about, and these are losses, right? The games that I've been there and D'Angelo have been there, which is every game except one. We've lost by 4. We've lost by 3. We've lost in overtime by 1. We've lost in overtime by 2. We've lost in overtime by 2. And then we won one by 28. So I think we're net positive and 1-5 in the games D'Angelo and I are both there.
Yeah, and I think, this is going to be... I think the one thing I try to tell teams, right, when playoffs hit, your record doesn't matter. Great.
Right.
You figured out how to win in regular season. How many times have we seen a true 1 seed win the championship? It's very rare, right? Like in NMAA, I could probably put it on my fingers how many times a 1 seed actually has won it. Since I've been around, I know there's been the pre-draft era, things like that.
No, we don't even count that.
But since I've been around, I don't really see the 1 seed winning that many times, right? And unfortunately, I am the 1 seed. But the goal is come in with the right mentality. Everyone's 0-0 and is just winning a game. And in the game that you played last week, you clearly could have won it, right? Should have definitely won it, just for one coach who had a little bit...
Inbound the ball. Some idiot coach just not paying attention.
A happy feet, right? Sometimes you start hearing the music in your ears and your feet start shuffling and you don't know what happened. But outside of that, I think it's going to be a close battle. 1,000%, I think it's a close battle. I think this is a D'Angelo redo his season type of game where if he wants to win, you got to get 40. He has to get 40. There's no, they're double teaming me, so I felt like I had to pass the ball. I think everyone on your team has to be aware that I'm taking a fat L if D'Angelo don't get 40, so go get me 40, D'Angelo, and I'll be there to hit the shots when needed. I think on the Commissar side, they won. Their coach won best GM for a reason. They have the best roster put together. But they've been in a lot of close games, right? And they have taken some bad losses, so it's not where they're not beatable by any margin. I think MIB can pull off an upset. However, to avoid any nuzzer, right, I'm going to have to pick the Commissars before I have a gang of people trying to coach Debo's team, which has happened to me in the past, where everyone is on the other sideline, like, here's how you beat Sid's team. Like, yeah, do this, do that, slow it down. To avoid that happening.
I really hated that season. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I so hated that season. I think I was one of the teams that was coaching against you. One of the coaches that was coaching against you too. I was like, bro, this is all you have to do. What are y'all doing? And you're like, I thought we were boys. I'm like, we're still boys. It's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I've had that happen to me. So to avoid, James, Alex, the rest of the crew just ganging up on me, I'm gonna go with Commissars as the win. But I think it goes to overtime.
Ooh. We're not good at overtime games, man. Like with 3, I think this has got to be an NMAA record. 7-game season, we lost 3 games in overtime.
Hey, if a positive outlook for your team means you're battle tested, how many teams can say they've won in overtime? James
not
team
us.
Can say,
not us,
right? But sometimes when you're battle tested that much, you're ready for the moment. And so
on what not to do.
Correct. You're prepared.
Like run down the sideline like you in shotgun. Play action. Bootleg to the right.
Ozzy needs to post that on the NMAA.
That would be crazy. Please don't. Next game we have Malik versus John. Another honestly fantastic matchup. The only problem, the leading scorer for Malik just broke his hand. Wheezy. Wheezy, we're praying for you, man. I know that's not fun. And dealing with broken bones. Hoping you can make a speedy recovery. So actually, has they announced his replacement?
They have announced his replacement. His replacement will be none other than Adam Dorsey.
Oh, Adam Dorsey. Okay.
So great addition to the team. Capable of definitely putting up 20 points a game. I think we've seen it in pro before where he has. He can run an offense. He can play off ball. He kind of can do what you need him to, right? Swiss Army knife. Yeah.
Fills in right spots. Honestly, Adam's one of those pieces that he'll fit in with. Honestly, I'm thinking about Hani throwing those outlets. Oof.
Exactly. I can't think of a team where Adam doesn't fit in on. You could put him on any team in semi-pro. I mean, in this pro semi-pro mix this season, and I'd say they got better.
Yeah. But speaking of leading scorers that will not be there, Sharif has also been replaced.
Yep.
By none other than NMAA legend Norris Anderson.
Yep.
So, honestly, that changes the team, the way the team looks a lot, man.
No, and here's the good thing about it, at least. Both these teams will be without their leading scorer and having to adapt on the fly. So you can't say after, if you lose, whichever team loses, hey, we only lost because we were missing Wissam or we're missing Sharif. You both are missing your best players, right? Scoring-wise, at least. And it's just going to be who can figure it out the quickest on the fly.
That's true, man. I actually having a tough time picking this game, but man, honestly, Sharif just rising over the top against anybody. He kind of is an equalizer to what Hani brings inside. You know, Hani can just lock up so much of the paint, and Norris has that little midi, but he's got to create more space to do that. Sharif would just rise up over anybody and just hit that shot, and he doesn't care about contests either. So I think that Sharif replacement is a little bit worse than the Malik replacement, just matchup wise. Obviously, Norris is a bucket, right? Nobody's refuting that. So I'm going to go with Malik in this matchup, and I'm going to go in a close one, in a relatively low scoring one. The thing is, that was a great coach. Abdel's a great coach too.
He is. He's one.
We can't forget, Malik are back-to-back champions? No, 2 out of 3.
Yep.
They have 2 out of the last 3 championships because, I mean, Abdel going for his 3rd, which would be a semi-pro. I don't even know. I keep calling it semi-pro. I don't think it's technically.
We would have the most, though, from like the semi-pro coaches list. Right.
So hopefully Dev can figure it out. But I do have Malik in this matchup, and I got them in a 64-61 game where Norris misses the game-tying 3 at the buzzer. How about let's make it fun?
Yeah, I'm gonna flip, and not because he's my brother. I watched the last quarter of that Malik Jun game, and they just played, right? Like the beauty of some of these playoff matchups, kind of like yours. Malik Jun played last week. Your team played last week, so you kind of see matchups a little bit,
right?
And you know, Tariq hit some really great threes in the fourth quarter, whereas Jun couldn't get their offense going, right? And I think when we think of Jund, a team that has the best offense, well, second best offense in the league, they should be able to get their offense going, right? And I think they'll figure it out, even with the new addition.
You think that was more of an anomaly than it was?
Correct. I think that was their low. And yes, Hani is a major factor, so don't want to take away anything from Hani. But I think that was more of an anomaly of a game where Darius Donaldson only had 8 points. And I think the week before that, he couldn't miss a 3. Right, even though Zayd hit, I didn't see Derek with his usual 10 to 15. Right. I think when you start to add it up, in my opinion, can a team have a bad game? Yes. Did I think both teams didn't play to their top potential? Yes. But I'm leaning Jund strictly because I think when it comes to a playoff built team, Norris, for example, is built for playoffs.
That's true.
He knows how to make tough shots, and I think Dev picked him strictly because he anticipated this game is going to be really close, and it might need a contested bucket to get
maybe 5 of them,
to get him over the hump. And if there's somebody that you trust outside of Sharif, he might be one of those.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Malik has a tendency to play like idiots, and they know that.
Yes.
So if Adam doesn't fit in and they're not really, which would be crazy, if like they're just not doing the right things, or if he's kind of confused on what to be and he's trying to run the show, and I still got Malik in a close one. The Hani factor is so crazy to me because he just makes such a huge difference. You know,
100%. And Jund, I think Hani would dominate even against Jund strictly because they don't have a traditional big, right?
Right.
It's meant to be a Hani domination game. But when I look at them outside of Hani, can they contain Norris? Unless Norris is completely out of shape, I don't see it. Right?
No.
I'm expecting Norris 30, and I'm expecting Darius, instead of being at 8, to be at 20, right?
If Darius scores 8, they lose again. I mean,
correct.
Plain and simple, cut and dry. Like, that is what it is. If he scores in single digits, that game's over. Right?
Yep, 100%. And he scored in single digits, and they only lost by 2. So I'll lean the other way and say if he scores double digits, I think Jund wins.
All right. Let's see. But the next game, Sid, you cannot pick. At NARSSZ versus Amani. Now, here is the $1 million question. Is Ishmael going to play?
That's $1 million question for myself. I don't quite know yet. I think here's the crazy thing with injuries, right? It's, even as a coach, it's battling a player's feelings, right? Versus will he show up? And the one thing as a coach that I want to do is value that player's feelings because I know he wants to play, right? Like, I know if it was me and I was hurt, you can ask me whether or not I don't want to play. And I'll say I'll be there. And then maybe the morning of, I'm just like, crap, dude, like, I'm not 100%. So I'm giving him time. Obviously, game's not around the corner. So I'm hoping to get that answer relatively soon. If I had to guess, I think he's going to play. And if he doesn't play, I think someone pointed it out. We're 2-1 without my star player. We'll have to figure something out.
Well, you know, that in the playoffs, you've had this before, actually, Sid, where your first round pick didn't show up for the first round of the playoffs, where you're a high enough seed and you're like, you know what, I think we can figure it out without him. And you did, and you guys ended up winning the championship. Yep. And I should say we ended up winning the championship because the first round pick was me at that time, and I missed that first game because of a wedding. And we ended up winning the whole thing. So then that's a tough situation. With that being said, I think it makes it much easier because you're playing, sorry to the Amani boys, sorry to Debo, clearly the worst team in the league. Now they have
worst anymore, right? I mean, they got a couple of.
Now, who are the replacements? You got to remind me. There's been so many replacements. I'm completely forgetting.
Isaiah Nicholson has replaced.
Right.
Let's call it Heron. I'm not going to go into the long seeded order. He replaced Heron, and then Elliot Glegg has replaced Rowe. So they get a knockdown shooter. They got offensive weapons for days. I mean, they're a juggernaut of an offensive team.
Right.
I'm hoping Isaiah, respects me enough from a coach last season on semi-pro to be like, hey, I'm not going to boot out my old coach. I'm going to play 50-50. Just let him have his moment, enjoy it a little bit. Just tell my EPL Isaiah if you wanted like more momentum to, just let it go under the rug. But yeah, they got some improvements based on, the team that we originally played, and I expect that they're going to come out with a lot of fire.
I will say this: Isaiah has been on their team one game. He scored the first 14 points for Amani. He was 8 for 8 to start, and I think 3 of those were threes. And he didn't touch the ball for like 5 straight possessions. I was like, what are you doing? I was literally I remember I was sitting on the Goldenrod bench, and I had just assumed Goldenrod was up big. And I guess they were down 2 at the time. I'm yelling at Debo, I'm like, Debo, Isaiah has not missed a shot. You over here shooting pull-up threes. What are we doing? Right? And he's like, don't tell me how to coach my team. I said, I'm not telling you how to coach your team. I'm just making an observation. And then the next possession, there was like a crazy shot that went up. And just to troll, I was like, Isaiah, you can see why Mike Nichols dropped, right? And he looked at me and he was like, bro, chill out. Like, he was like, yo, chill. I'm like, this is crazy. Get the man the ball. He hasn't missed a shot. So
I'm hoping that behavior continues, right? Like, I'll need it, right? They have a very good roster, right? You're talking about Elliot, Darius Venegas, who was in, the most improved list. Isaiah. They got Debo and then Tony Koo, right? That's very
Not a bad lineup at all.
No, very good offensive lineup. Can definitely score and hold their own. So it'll be tough for my team to kind of figure it out defensively on, how do we shut them down?
With all that being said, I got NARSSZ by 15 points. I don't think it's going to be that close. I'll be honest with you.
I always hate these podcast picks because then, like, midway through the third quarter, they might be up by a little bit. They'll be like, "You see, Waaris? Screw you."
Yeah, they'll be yelling at me afterwards. But listen, I'm just calling it like I see it, man. Even in that goldenrod game, you got a great Isaiah game. You didn't get an okay Isaiah game. Okay, Isaiah played well. You got a great Isaiah game and lost by 20.
Yeah. But they were also missing Elliott, right?
They didn't have Elliott. So if you don't have Ish, hold this. If you don't have Ish and don't replace Ish, I think this will be a much closer matchup. I don't have without Ish, you guys beating them by 15. That would be crazy. I'm assuming Ish is healthy. And I took video for your guys' game. And I came to Ish afterwards and I said, Ish, are you playing next week? He goes, it feels a little tender. If you were to ask me right now, I think I need about 10 days and 2 weeks. I said, you do not have that much time, my boy. We're going to see you next week. And he started laughing. So I think he'll end up playing too. So if you guys have everybody, they have everybody. NARSSZ 82, Amani 67. That's my pick.
Okay.
Next game, last game of the week, possibly the matchup of the week. I'm not sure. Maybe you think so. I might think so. Al Nassr versus Goldenrod. This is gonna be a fun one.
We might need a third ref just for the security of Alex Ford and Zobi.
Them boys got into it. And listen, you know what I love about Zobi? He's gonna guard him again.
He's gonna guard him again. Alex gonna do his famous "You're sorry" speech. I'm hoping that Ramsey at least as warm up to the game just tells Zobi he's sorry like 5 times so that he's mentally ready to hear it. Like sometimes you just gotta. It's a warm up, right? Like
you gotta call him at like Fudger time. Hey, bro, you sorry, and then just hang up. Just so he's getting ready.
But that's gonna be the matchup right there, right? Like I know there's AK, there's Pat, right? But it comes down to that, like right there, in my opinion, who can win that emotional battle. And Alex can say he's gonna be well behaved. It's a playoff game. We know what it is. We know Ozzy's gonna come and run to your defense. You got Aveda there as well. Like we don't need to sugarcoat it, right? Ramsey's gonna be mad. Yeah, Ramsey's gonna be mad.
You know what's crazy? Is Alex has always been Alex, right? And that's my dog. But whenever he was on my team, he would be vilified to the max. Bro, he's doing all this. He's doing way too much. Why is he yelling at these people? Blah, blah. I'm like, bro, he's just got passion. He's just trying to win. Like, he's getting too much into it. He'll chill out. He always chills out. But it's like, nah, he's tweaking, blah, blah. Now he's on Ozzy's team, and all of a sudden, why are people provoking Alex? I'm like, whoa. He's been the same person this whole time. Let's not act. Let's call a spade, and that's my dog. He knows that that's my dog. But
love Alex. Here's the craziest part about it, right? I think I've told Zobi this already too. Is like you're getting tender, Alex. Alex, when he first walked into the league, oh my god! I remember the first time I played, and I'm the one who told my brother to draft him. By the way, because I saw him at the showcase, and I was like, oh my god, I love this guy, right? And I remember I was playing against him, and all of a sudden, he shoots a 3 on me, and I'm just getting guns. And I'm like, he's like, and he tells you, he's like, shot you, right? And I'm like,
shot you. I remember when he used to do that.
Or like, he would cross over left to right? And he'd just be like, you're not even like shot it yet, right? And he'd be like, gotcha. And like, just in your head, constantly talking, constantly chirping, like, oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Right? And that was his MVP for pro season.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever anyone wants to say, 100%. He's definitely toned it down, but just imagine if he came at you full Alex.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out my boy Alex. But I honestly, I think Alex is going to give you his 20. He's honestly been a little bit of a shooting slump. he had a couple, like in the fourth quarter, at least the last couple of games, he's had a lot of good looks, which I would expect for him to go in. If he starts hitting those, it's going to be scary.
Tough.
My biggest thing is how much is Noodle going to contribute? Because he was hurt in that last game. And it didn't look like one of those, hey, he'll be good in 4 or 5 days type of injury. He was limping up and down the court. He had a chance at like a game-winning 3 in the corner, or I think it might have been game-tying, actually. Game-tying 3 in the corner. And he just had no legs. He couldn't move. He threw the ball at the rim, essentially. It wasn't even close. I'm like, dude, you are hurt. Go sit down. Like, what is going on? And he was limping up and down the court. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to be able to play, but he needs to contribute. So,
and here's the difference, right? That I try to tell people all the time, and you notice it between semi-pro to pro players. And it's not to be an offensive remark, and it's one of the things that I'll talk highly of Alex for, right? Is IQ. Alex isn't coming in there crossing you up left, right, blow by, like fade away, I'm gonna hit it on you. No, he's beating you off fundamental basketball, right?
Yeah.
He hits the open 3. He'll drive the lane, get his contact, finish, things like that. It's very fundamental, but he knows what he wants, and we'll oftentimes see the difference of you reached on him, so now he's got you on his hip. Once he has you on his hip, he knows what to do, right? And Noodle, and the reason I bring up that point is the same thing for Noodle. You just mentioned he was hurt last game. Yes, he didn't score, so let's ignore that fact. He had 10 rebounds and 9 assists in a hurt game.
Yeah.
He's still a huge factor for that team. And so even if he's limping around the court, I think his value is still too high, and it goes back to the high IQ. He will put himself in the best position that a hurt him can play in. And maybe that's switching Omar to be at the top and him being in the middle, so all he has to do is turn around, grab a rebound, launch the ball down the court, something like that, right? To kind of hide himself. So yeah, I think this is the new like El Clasico rivalry, the Rams.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for whoever is going to give the other coach the night. Famous night.
This has been the thing that they've been doing to each other. Just saying night, and then and what's crazy is they both react irrationally to it. Like when Ozzy did it to Ramsey was furious for like 5 days. Then Ramsey did it back, and then Ozzy was furious. I'm like, they're like, oh, he took my celebration. I'm like, you took Steph Curry's celebration. So what? Like, and he was like, no. This is a matter of respect. I'm like, bro, y'all are both doing the exact same thing. Like, let's calm down. But it's gonna be fun because somebody's gonna blow up after this game.
100%. And I wanted it to be where I can watch it, man. Like, I want to see this game so badly.
I call video on this game. I'm doing a video for this one.
I hope somebody records the whole video and just I hope our camera photographer guy zoom in on Alex Zobe. You get a couple of those reels, right? We need to get them spinning. Yeah. If Ramsey's coaching, capture Ozzy. I need to hear the words coming out of their mouth. Like, I need to.
For sure. This would be a great mic'd up matchup. If we could mic up Alex, Zoe, Ramsey, and Ozzy and just play the full footage, it would be so much fun to watch.
Cinematic. I guarantee you it'd break YouTube records.
With that being said, Sid, who you got in this game?
This is tough.
It really is.
And it's not because I want to pick against him. I'm going to lean Goldenrod, even though they're the 6th seed. And reason being is I think Ozzy's coming off of a disappointing loss to me where he feels like he should have won the game. Right?
I mean, you didn't, bro. The MVP of the league didn't play 3.5 quarters. You should have won that game.
And I think it's not where I don't think Alex can win a game, because I think when I look at the list of players, he's one of the smartest players on the court for that matchup. Like, you put Goldenrod, you put NARSSZ on there. He's besides Noodle, probably the highest IQ player on the court. Right? And NARSSZ has 2 of those guys. My worry is, like you mentioned, Noodle not being fully healthy. So I don't know what he can contribute points-wise. And when Noodle contributes points-wise, they win. So part of my reason for picking Goldenrod is I'm not sure of the status of Noodle. That's his 2nd round pick. That's a huge factor, right? And I think everyone has told me they lost the game because they didn't have healthy Noodle. So that could play a
Do
factor.
they still have no? Exactly.
Correct.
So I think, so I'm on the same boat, right? I wish we would have all 8 players for both teams being fully healthy. Fact of the matter is that's not sports, right? And Noodle, a labored Noodle, is still effective, but 100% Noodle is dangerous. I think Alex gets his 24. I think he does. He's just going to. And it doesn't matter if he has to hit 6 threes. It doesn't matter if he has to shoot 20 free throws. It doesn't matter. He's going to get his 24. So the problem is Patrick's also going to get his 24, right? Patrick's going to get his 20 to 24. Now Zoe's going to get his 10 to 12 to 15 to 16. The big factor here is the AK versus Noodle. Now, if Noodle outscores AK, NARSSZ will win this game for sure. But with what's happening, and AK's had a good season, it's going to be hard for me to envision how NARSSZ comes up with the rest of these points. You know what I mean? Like, no, if Noodle is less than 6 points a game, he does not look good. Like, he did not look like he could move at all. Yeah. Like, he didn't, not sprinting is one thing. He didn't even jog. He was literally he looked like me 3 years ago when I would be like, all right, boom, boom, just point. And he was not running a single time.
Yeah,
so,
and
that's
we
huge.
haven't mentioned him yet, right? And if I had to look at momentum, right? Goldenrod, like you mentioned, is 4-1 in their last 5 games, right? So momentum is tipping towards them. I think they have an excellent team. They've taken some losses early, but they fixed it. And so my pick is Goldenrod. Unless for some reason Noodle tells me he's 100%, then I'm going to go with Goldenrod because I think injuries matter.
Yeah, I think, listen, even if he does all the PT and does the training and gets his hamstring feeling 100%, just the thought of, hey, I tweaked it last week is going to make you kind of go not 100%. And even if you're going 80%, 75%, that's enough of a difference for me that I'll pick Goldenrod. Yeah. I think with 100% healthy Noodle, I might have leaned towards NARSSZ. But because of the injury, because of Goldenrod having momentum, because I know Ramsey's a good coach, and honestly, the fact that we haven't mentioned Tim McGuire's name up until this point is crazy. Tim McGuire is an X factor. Tim McGuire could just score 18 points and you lost.
Correct.
There's nothing you could do.
They have 4 scorers that can put themselves in double digits. I'm not sure if NARSSZ. They have Arib. Arib's gonna have to.
Arib, bro.
Comeback moment for sure.
We need Arib. If Arib, it needs to be the guy that cancels out. Arib needs to step up with Noodle.
He needs to drop 20.
He needs to drop 20.
He needs to drop 20, and I think Arib needs to know that point blank. If you want to go to the next round, drop 20 points.
20 points.
Otherwise, you're not getting there.
Otherwise, you are not getting there. 12 points not going to get it done. 16 points not going to get it done. 19 maybe forces overtime. But we need 20.
Yep.
All right? It'd be funny if you had 18 and he hits a game winner to score 20 exactly. Then we'd be like, dude, we called it. We told you. Anyway, with that being said, that's all we have for the podcast. Sid, thank you so much for joining me. I know we joke and we make all these jokes and kid and blah, blah, but legitimately, bro, I'm praying for you. You know I love you. I want you to feel better and be back as soon as possible. And
championship will help that. Just for anytime I go up against somebody, just keep that in mind.
I don't owe you that much. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I'm out of it, maybe I'll root for you. But
I'm gonna text Devo if I lose. Like, you're gonna be the reason I spiral.
100%. You could be like, bro, you always saying nonsense on I'm like, it has nothing to do with what I'm saying on the podcast, bro. But you swear that, the podcast narratives, I tell my players don't listen to the podcast for the playoffs. I'm like, bro, that's not a thing. Anyway, although Josh Fillmore, I think, did score 50 on you because I was talking crazy.
Yeah. It has happened.
Anyways, that's all we got for the podcast. Sid, thank you for joining me. Everybody be happy. Everybody be healthy. We'll be back with you next week.
We are NMAA. basketball, Dean Brotherhood.
We've got former college D1 athletes, former international players, competition at all levels. Come on, man, it's what we do best.
It's game time, grab your crew cause I got mine. Cause my 5, we gon' shut her down like prime time. We always ready, staying steady on these front lines. Lights, camera, action, and we live, call it showtime. This labor of love, we call it grind and dedication. Blood, sweat, and tears for years, call it determination. Don't get it mistaken with people hating on your greatness. We just patiently waiting to make a slam dunk statement. So turn the station to NMAA Podcast. Got the commission on going full blast. So when they ask who's the greatest in the state, well, we shaking bacon and breaking ankles and soul weight. I'm too clean and precise with my jump shot. Celebrate with my bow and arrow, call it guns hot. Locked and loaded with my bag and my whole squad. Always rolling deep with my team, praising one God. Alhamdulillah.
Did you give it all you got? Did you give it 110%? Any team's capable of holding that championship trophy. Just depends how bad you want it.
I'm ruthless, I'm competitive. My drive's on fire, I'm so tentative. I dominate, call me executive. I'm a champion.
Let's go!
In the race of life, quitters never reach the finish line. I'ma get what's mine, gonna do the time, cause I'm in my prime. My mind is my weapon, my mental toughness is dead on. I'm a sharpshooter, top hooper. I'm a champion. It's not over till I say it is. Body still working hard, beating, blessed, time to live. It's all or nothing, I got all to give. Pushing to the last second, cause it's still time to win. Never too late, cause I'm the champion within. And the champions are made of perseverance, no quitting, ha. Yeah, that's why I'm out here grinding day and night, Always hungry, staying humble, that's my way of life. Cause every team dreams of being the number one seed. But do you got what it takes to make it in this league? Giving it all, game a line, going 110. Claiming it all, looking to thrive, decisions always a win. I'm ruthless, I'm competitive. My drive's on fire, I'm so tentative. I dominate, call me executive. I'm a champion.
Let's go!
In the race of life, quitters never reach the finish line. I'ma get what's mine, gonna do the time, cause I'm in my prime. My mind is my weapon, my mental toughness is dead on. I'm a sharpshooter, top hooper. I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm ruthless and competitive. My drive's on fire, I'm so tentative. At dominate, call me executive. I'm a champion.